Rafik ran a small grocery shop in the corner of a busy street. Honest, humble, and always smiling. He had just one wish: to see his daughter happily married. Shobi, on the other hand, had a government job. Respected in the town, disciplined, and known for his strict ways. He too had one wish: to find the right match for his son. Destiny had already written the perfect story. Rafik's daughter, Sa'a. Shobi's son, Aman. Both fathers had known each other for years. And one day, over a cup of tea, they made a decision. "Let's become one family," Rafik said. "Done," Shobi smiled. But before the tea could even cool down, two voices rose from inside their homes. Their wives. "No. Never," both women said. Why? Because one believed shopkeepers were poor, and the other believed government officers were proud. Neither woman cared that their children liked each other. Neither wanted to listen. And just like that, love was trapped between egos. But what happened next changed the definition of family in the entire town. Story 1. The proposal. The evening was calm, the air light with the smell of roasted peanuts. Rafik locked his shop, humming a song he barely remembered. Just then, Shobi passed by, holding a file under his arm. "Rafik bhai," he called. "Shobi sab." Rafik smiled. "Chai?" Minutes later, two old friends sat on a bench, sipping tea from clay cups. "You know, my daughter Sa'a has completed her graduation," Rafik said with pride. "And Aman just got posted as assistant officer in the city council." Shobi replied. There was a pause. Then a smile. Then an idea. "Let's fix this, Rafik bhai. Let's get them married." Rafik nodded instantly. But fate had other plans. 2. The resistance. Rafik reached home excited and told his wife, Salma. But her smile vanished. "What? Our daughter marry into a government house, where the mother-in-law will order her around all day? No way." Meanwhile, Shobi told his wife, Fozana. She laughed in disbelief. "Our son, an officer, marry a shopkeeper's daughter. What will people say? That we married into poverty?" Both women refused. Their husbands tried to convince them. But they shut the doors, literally and emotionally. What they didn't know was that their children had already met accidentally and had quietly become friends. 3. The children's bond. Sa'a was simple, polite, and always smiling. She had seen Aman just once at a wedding, where he had helped an old man find his lost shoe. That moment had stayed with her. Aman, on the other hand, noticed Sa'a at Rafik's shop while buying a pack of biscuits. They smiled. That was enough. Soon, their paths crossed more often. Silent meetings. Short talks. Kind gestures. Respectful, innocent, and pure. And slowly, what their parents denied, their hearts accepted. 4. The twist. One day, Fozana heard Sa'a's name from Aman's lips. She stormed into the room. "Do you like that girl?" Aman lowered his head. "Yes, Ami. I'll die before I let this happen," she shouted. At Rafik's home, Salma broke plates when she found out. "I will not give my daughter to a family that walks with noses in the air," she screamed. Sa'a cried. Aman broke down. And both fathers sat helpless. 5. The desperate fathers. Rafik came to Shobi's house one evening. "My daughter is not food you reject without tasting," he said, his voice shaking. "And my son is not pride you burn with salt," Shobi replied. Both sighed. Then sat quietly. "We raised them with love," Rafik whispered. "And now we are watching them break," Shobi said. The men decided to try one last thing. To show their wives what they were blind to. 6. The wake-up call. They planned it carefully. That weekend, the town hosted a charity drive. Rafik arranged for Sa'a to volunteer. Shobi brought Aman as an officer to supervise. Salma and Fozana, curious, followed to see what drama their children were involved in. What they saw shattered their walls. Sa'a helped an orphan girl with torn shoes. Aman gave his own lunch to a starving man. Together, they helped organize books, carry bags, and clean the place before leaving. But more than that, they respected each other, listened, encouraged, and smiled like they'd found their home in each other. Salma's eyes moistened. Fozona sat down quietly. Are these the children we doubted? Salma asked. Are we the enemies of their happiness? Fozona whispered. 7. The storm before peace. Just as things started softening, tragedy struck. Rafik's shop caught fire due to a short circuit. Half the neighborhood gathered to help, but the fire spread fast. Salma collapsed. Sa'a screamed. But then, Shobi and Aman arrived. They didn't wait. Aman rushed in with a wet blanket. Shobi coordinated a human chain with buckets. Aman saved the cash box, the records, and a crying cat stuck in the back shelf. When the fire was gone, everything was black. But no one was hurt. And that moment burned away every ego. Salma hugged Aman. Fozona kissed Sa'a's forehead. Without a single word spoken, the marriage was agreed. 8. The wedding. It wasn't grand. It wasn't rich. But it was beautiful. The entire town came to see what love, respect, and courage could build. Sa'a wore a yellow dress. Aman had tears in his eyes. Shobi stood beside Rafik, holding his hand like a brother. The wives. They danced. And every eye in that small town cried happy tears. 9. The message. The story of Sa'a and Aman spread like wind. Not because of the wedding, but because two fathers fought silently but bravely against tradition, ego, and resistance for love. They taught their wives, protected their children, and proved one thing. Family isn't about pride. It's about people who love without conditions. Moral. Never let ego decide someone's future. If hearts are pure, let them meet.